Good afternoon and welcome to the Midday News. Here's what we have in the bulletin. They're far for legally challenging the government. JDF soldier dead after being electrocuted. And later in sports, World Boxing President visits Jamaica. Thank you for joining us. I'm Carrie Simpson. Here are the details. Councillor for the Montego Bay Northeast Division, Senator Charles Sinclair, continues to blast opposition leader Mark Golding over his British citizenship and legal challenge against the government over the Portmore Parish law. More in this report. At a JLP workers' conference in central St. James over the weekend, Senator Charles Sinclair did not mince words in blasting the People's National Party over their handling of the country in the past.
Under PNP, Cornwall Regional Hospital rundown. Under Jamaica Labour Party, we dey build up Cornwall Regional Hospital. Under Andrew Holness, we refurbish health center after health center after health center.
From healthcare to urged his disappointed supporters to move forward. Misled administration is prioritized true independence for the people of Jamaica, and the establishment of Portmore as the 15th parish is one such move. He said the opposition's decision to legally challenge the government was a waste of resources.
We as the Jamaica Labour Party, from day one, we says we're going to declare the parish, and once you establish the boundaries of the parish, then the EOJ will move on to determine the boundaries of the constituency within the parish. You cannot declare political constituency boundaries in a parish if you don't have a parish. So when me or PNP get up and shut up their mouth, what we must say to them, and I say to them, what you did, PNP, was a waste of your own resources.
And Senator Sinclair chided the opposition leader for not producing his certificate of renunciation of his dual citizenship.
He said he was going to go revoke or renounce his British citizenship. And we still want to see the certificate of renunciation. And I know him can't produce it.
Former councillor for the Above Rocks Division, Neil Powell, will represent the Jamaica Labour Party in St. Catherine North Central in the upcoming general elections. He defeated businessman Paul Brown in a runoff on Sunday with 73 votes to 52. Mr. Brown, while acknowledging defeat, urged his disappointed supporters to move forward and do what is needed to ensure the JLP wins the constituency.
36 years. And if somebody wants to represent this constituency have to meet all factions and come together. If the person wins, want to meet our persons, our people here, I'm happy to meet with them. Until they're big enough to do that, then they will stand where they are.
Do you think, my final question, do you think you are the most suitable person?
Mr. Brown's supporters are questioning the process, claiming that prior to the selection exercise, Mr. Powell had already been interviewed by the party hierarchy for the position. Mr. Powell responded.
Upon to serve this constituency at the initial stage, shortly after the local government election in 2024. I declined because I was not feeling good mentally, so I declined from doing the interview at the Jamaica Labour Party.
Now, Mr. Powell says he is back as some delegates say they are not feeling him in the constituency.
You have to understand that democracy must be observed and respected. So therefore, I am looking forward to working with everybody in order to get this seat into the winning column of the Jamaica Labour Party.
The St. Catherine North Central constituency is currently represented by the PNP's Natalie Nita Garvey. Mayor of Mandeville, Donovan Mitchell, says it's not a market but a park that is needed in the parish. He was responding to a proposal put forward by the Prime Minister. Shamela Pullen reports.
Mandeville Mayor Donovan Mitchell has rejected a proposed plan for a park to be built in Manchester. Prime Minister Andrew Holness recently made the proposal at a function in the parish recently. It would mirror Emancipation Park and the Harmony Beach Park in St. James, but the mayor says this is not a priority.
I hear you come up with a big plan about a park in Mandeville. Yes, Mandeville no want no park, we have Cecil Charlton Park. And we will not disrespect Cecil Charlton, who never in this parish, who work in it, and nobody come and remove that park. I hear them talking about parking Mandeville. S.E. Brooks, when I'm a labor writer, PNP and no key, left Brooks Park for the people of Manchester.
Instead, Mayor Mitchell is advocating for a multi-story market.
If you really want to do something for Manchester and for Mandeville, you will tell this man Mackenzie say, me Donovan said, the plans we had for the Mandeville market that he has thrown away, I'll put it in a shelf, I'll put it in 513, take it up, dig it up, and make it talk about Mandeville town. We have a plan, and we only want PNP win, and PNP name must win.
Mayor Mitchell will face off with the incumbent Member of Parliament for Manchester Central, Rhoda Moy Crawford. He suggests her days are numbered.
We brought in consultants from England. We bring people from all over Jamaica. We sat down as a team with the citizens of Manchester and work out how we want to see the town of Mandeville, right in the middle of the town of Mandeville. And because JLP never win, they dump the plan that we have.
Shamela Pullen, TVJ News.
Additional safety measures are coming for Vere Technical High. The improvements are intended to save the lives of students and teachers as they commute to and from school. But as you'll hear in this report, commute isn't the only area to get attention in the coming days.
September 24, 2024, a day etched in the minds of staff and students at the Vere Technical High School. 2 students were involved in separate crashes on the same day. One died and the other required medical treatment. 6 months later, and some of the safety measures lobbied for are finally being delivered.
The National Work Agency, NWA, has committed to repainting the pedestrian crossing at the school entrance as we continue to lobby for a bus stop. The safety of our students and staff is of paramount importance. Therefore, a pedestrian crossing will be painted on the inside of the school at the main entrance. Signages will be erected at the roundabout near the main gate to direct traffic.
The update provided at the launch of a Safe Schools initiative at the institution. The Ministry of Education's initiative is being used to promote positive behavior among students.
Students have been very receptive. We have had quite a number of sensitization sessions for all grade levels, for all stakeholders, our parents, ancillary workers, academic staff. So all persons have been sensitized, and students, with this launch, we believe that students will work even harder to receive the rewards or incentives that we have provided for them here.
Several students have been selected as ambassadors for the Positive Behavior Program and were presented with awards by the school's leadership for their good work. Additionally, students will be rewarded on a monthly basis if their attitude matches the criteria under the program.
Rewards such as phone cards, calculators, geometry sets, and other items will be given to students who display positive behaviors, and these students will be highlighted.
Kelisha Williams, TVJ News.
A member of the Jamaica Constabulary Force is dead after he was electrocuted on Sunday. He has been identified as Sergeant Williams Augustus Wallace, attached to the Protective Services Division. It's reported that about 6:10 p.m., Sergeant Wallace was in the process of cutting branches from a tree when the machete in his hand became entangled with a JPS high-tension wire and he was electrocuted. The incident happened in Eltham Acres, Spanish Town. It's now time for a break. Stay with us. More stories when we return. Welcome back. We're continuing the news. Taxi operators in Lyssons, St. Thomas have taken matter into their own hands in fixing a section of the main road that has been making commute miserable for some weeks now. They parked their vehicles for hours to carry out temporary repairs on the road, which they say have been costing them both money and time. It came after 2 trenches were dug in the road following ongoing road repairs in the area.
It's affecting everybody, but affecting drivers, the taxi drivers and more, because I know they have to be making trips on top of trips. So they're here now getting it sorted out so they can operate properly.
They told TVJ News that many vehicles have been damaged due to the condition of the road in recent times. They're advocating for the government to revise how road works are carried out in the parish.
You need to do better, man. People them that don't get doing the work on the road. But you need to come and rectify and see this thing done properly, because it is causing us, the motorists, we who are transport public people from one end to the other. You understand me? The thing needs to do proper.
It's now time for the Business Minute.
Latin America and the Caribbean are facing significant challenges in meeting the Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, set under the 2030 Agenda, with just 5 years remaining until the deadline. According to the latest report by the Economic Commission for Latin America and the Caribbean, ECLAC, progress has fallen short of expectations due to weak institutional capacities, limited financing, slow economic growth, and lingering effects of the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, these issues, compounded by geopolitical tensions and economic disruptions in 2025, threaten to derail further progress. Further afield, Apple was hit with a €150 million or $162.4 million fine by French antitrust regulators on Monday for abusing its dominant position in mobile app advertising on its devices via a privacy control tool. The fine, the first by any antitrust regulator over Apple's app tracking transparency tool, comes a year after the European Union hit the company with a €1.8 billion antitrust fine for thwarting rival music streaming services on its App Store. For the Business Minute, I'm Shane Masters.
Thanks, Shane. Time now for the top stories from around the world.
In the region, the Ministry of Health in Dominica says it is actively monitoring an outbreak of gastroenteritis that began in early January alongside an influenza flu outbreak that has followed the carnival season. At a press conference on Friday, National Epidemiologist Dr. Shaladin Ahmed provided an update on the situation, confirming that while the flu is primarily affecting individuals aged 25 to 44, the gastroenteritis outbreak has been confined to children aged 14 and under. On the international scene, a Paris court has convicted far-right figurehead and 2027 presidential frontrunner Marine Le Pen of embezzlement and banned her from running for political office. The court is yet to announce whether the ban will come into immediate effect, which would prevent her chances of winning the French presidency in 2 years. The Paris prosecutor had requested a prison sentence of 5 years, including 2 suspended, a $325,000 fine, and an ineligibility to run for office for 5 years. Prosecutors had requested the ban to stand if she appeals. More than 2,000 people have died in Myanmar following Friday's powerful earthquake, the country's military leadership says as it declares a week of national mourning. The UN has made an urgent appeal for $8 million as aid groups warn of a worsening humanitarian crisis in the war-torn country, with hospitals damaged and overwhelmed. And those were the top regional and international stories. I am Kelisha Williams.
Isha, we head to a quick break. When we come back, we'll have your midday sports report.